Yeah! You know who it is, you know what it is. I'm your host, Billy D. Brell, aka Mr. Talk It, aka the voice box of the culture, man. The station is Talking TV, and you tune into another installment of Talk Your Talk. This week we got William MONTU Miller, we got Reggie Sykes, aka CHIEFROCKA, my favorite DJ. How y'all boys doing today, man? Glad y'all stopping by to Talk Y'all Talk, man, to chop it up with Mr. Talk It, man.
Thanks for
Appreciate you for having us. Yeah, man, this is dope.
That's what it's about, man. Well, let's get things rolling, man. Start off, man, I want to ask both of y'all, what is your earliest memories of hip-hop, or what introduced you to the hip-hop culture?
My earliest memory is sitting outside my brother's door, listening to Too Short, which I wasn't supposed to be listening to. He wasn't either. But anyways, and Run DMC. And after that, I just started falling in love with it. Me and him, that's actually what connected me and my brother. Like, we didn't get along that well.
Music brought y'all together.
Music brought us together, and then we just started collecting tapes, and like, our tape collection got crazy. So like, Run DMC, and Too Short, man. That was like, be honest with you, those were the two that brought me to this culture.
What's the age difference between you and your
The age difference is probably, let's see, 3 years. Three years, yep.
So y'all kind of grew up together, kind of.
Yeah, we did. We never got along. Like, I was in the sports, he was in the music, and then like, we clashed just all kinds of reasons.
For myself, it was Afro Bambaataa. Like, at like a house party, one of my aunts had. So I'm outside playing with my cousins and shit, and I heard her playing Rock. Playing Rock, like, fuck, you see, it's crazy, great music, you know what I'm saying? You got, what's the group out of Europe that they sample? Trance, I cannot think of the group.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, all the melodies and everything. So for me, it was Afro Bambaataa. And after that, I just was really into hip hop a lot. And the first tape that I bought, going back tape, was Slick Rick. You know, the
first tape I bought.
Yeah, Slick Rick mentions of, and that shit was wild.
Woo!
Remember Indian Story? You remember?
Right.
I wasn't supposed to be listening to that either.
Nah.
But I think I got my dad to buy it for me, you know what I'm saying?
That was back when they asked you to check you when you go to the kid, you go in the store, they were like, nah, I can't sell it to you. I used to get my grandmother to take me.
It was crazy. My mom, like, she ain't know what was going on. She was like, oh, they just buying music. She ain't know he was listening to all this crazy stuff.
That's like, cause I was at headset. They didn't know what I was listening to.
I'm listening, I'm listening to Slick Rick and all them heads.
Right.
Yo, you go back and think about that tape though. It had some clashes up there. You had Mona Lisa. He had Children's Story. What was the other joint?
Teenage Love.
I even like Teenage Love.
Teenage Love was my shit.
Yeah.
You go back and look at the video. You see a Lil' Kim in the video. You see.
Wow, I had to go back and look at the people.
Yeah.
Okay, rolling off to the next question. I know that both of you guys were not originally born in Athens. Tell me where y'all originally from and how y'all ended up in Athens, Georgia.
I'm originally from a spot called Portsmouth, Virginia. It's in Southern Virginia. Okay. So 757. We have a lot of athletes out of that area. Iverson, fucking Bruce Smith, Vic, Joe Smith. So we known for our sports.
Good music too, though.
Yeah, we got good music now. I was about to get in that. We got the Clips. We got Timbaland, Missy. We got Brell. Skills is from Richmond. He's from the 804.
Okay.
Yeah, Skills from the 804. But I'm originally from there. I went in the Marine Corps in 97. Went in the Marine Corps in 97. Stationed in Arizona. Got out in 01. They was looking for somebody to do the same thing I did in the Marine Corps on a Navy base here off of Oglethorpe.
Yeah, old Navy.
Yeah. I came in 01, and that's what brought me to Athens. Cool. Ended up linking with two downtown at the Tasty World, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Shout out to Prince and all that. But anyways, so I originally came to Georgia, to Atlanta, because I got accepted to Morehouse, and all kinds of stuff happened. I ended up being like $6,000 short on the tuition, so I ended up having to come back home. And I was like, the vibe here was so crazy. Like, I love the Georgia vibe. It was just so different to me,
Had you visited before prior to this?
That was my first time, and we was downtown Atlanta. I was
AAU was AAU popping around.
All that. I seen all these different really successful black people. I really got into the vibe, and I was like, I'm coming back. So when I'm going back home, ended up coming back to Morris Brown, still took out a bunch of loans that I'm still paying for today. But anyways, couldn't afford Morris Brown, so I ended up going to Perimeter College, which I think it was the DeKalb College, which I think is Perimeter College. They might call it something different now. But anyways, came up to Athens, visited some ladies. me and my boy Silenthius, shout out Silenthius, and just fell in love with Athens. Like I was like, man, this is where UGA's at. So I went back, finished up a couple credits, and I was like, I'm transferring to UGA. Transferred to UGA, and that all happened in '99. So I came to UGA in '99 and started my my career as far as school and eventually my hip hop.
Okay, so that leads into what I was about to say. That's around the same year time span that I met you, if I'm not mistaken. Just real quick, can you start with you? Then I want to go to you, Chief. Can you speak give us your intro to the Athens hip hop scene?
So my intro to the Athens hip hop scene is Amun-Ra. So while I was on campus, me and Life linked up. It's a funny story. Me and Life linked up when I was in Atlanta. He was seeing this girl in Atlanta going to Georgia State. We linked up. He said he was going to UGA. I was talking about UGA. He was like, we need to link when we get here. Saw him on campus, boom, boom, boom. We ended up creating this on-campus group called the Dreaded Minds Family, which did poetry. We did a cipher on Thursday, but we did all this out of my home. We eventually linked up with Amun-Ra at Tasty World. He was like, yo, I need the Dreaded Minds poets to come and do something. It was called the Athens All-Stars. I remember what the name of it was. And that was like, Amun-Ra basically introduced me to the whole Athens community and show. And then once I was able to do Tasty World, it was like, it was just in my blood to like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And then we just started doing stuff, and we eventually went to what was called the Element, but it's actually Cutter's Pub right now.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with this.
That was the Element.
Dang, you're right. That's what it's called.
Yeah, we used to do. So we would do poetry from like 9 to 10 or 11, and then do like a battle after that, because we was like, the battle scene was crazy in Athens, because we had done it in my living room with the battle lounge and
right.
all these the battle lounge got so crazy in my living room, we had to find somewhere else.
Like seriously, like I said, that's around the time that I met him, and he's not exaggerating at all. Like it was like the stuff that you see now on like the internet with the battles and stuff. Like we had like the footage and like the recording and stuff, because this was like the first spot. Like me being like, I'm from Athens, this is my hometown, but the way I always, the type of music I did and the type of lyrics I spit, they always had more of a up north feel to it, because it's the type of music that I was influenced by. So when I got around them and the MCs that I met at the Battle Lounge, those were the first people that accepted me for what I did. Like with most people, they'd be like, well, you sound like you from New York. No, it's not that. I'm just different. But when I got there, that's when I really came into like real MCs. They like really helped me a lot, man. That was a nice spot though, man. Like good times. I enjoyed that a lot, man.
Yeah, I mean like Fort Knox, who's doing a lot of good promotions in
him,
Atlanta. Like he was there, Issues was there, Colin was there. I mean, I could name like a bunch of people who are in the community now that like we started in my living room, and that shit got so crazy. On Friday nights, it was called Battle Lounge, and we would just literally just be in the middle of I had a loft, so it was like a big room, and we would just play beats, and I actually still got some of that footage, which eventually I'll release, but we used to do that, and it got like so crazy. Like, I mean, I would have like 50, 75 people at my house. I was like,
no exaggeration.
Yeah, and it's at Rivers Edge apartment 136. So when you're driving down Atlanta High, when you see Rivers Edge, that's where like our movement started. You know what I mean? And we it got so big that I was like, I went and talked to Murphy at Tasty World. And I was like, yo, I got this. I got a market. We can do this. And Murphy was like so welcoming. Like he was just like, whatever y'all want to do it. And he gave us the upstairs on, I forget what day it was. And we used to just do shows there. It might have been a Tuesday. I think we was doing Tuesday, because even though, because that was the time when we came in, it was about the time like what was the name of that spot? It was some Mike's. Mean Mike's, where General Beauregard's is right now, actually used to be like a crazy hip hop spot on Tuesdays. So I think we might have did Wednesdays, just because we didn't want to battle with them, and then like that died down, and then we came up, and then we went from Tasty World, and then met with Chief, and then we started doing like a monthly at Caledonia. And don't get it messed up though. One thing I want people to realize is like, I'm making it sound real easy, like it was easy for us to just come downtown. It was not.
Not at all.
It was not. Like we was fighting an uphill battle the whole time. Like I will say, there was one spot that always just welcomed us and allowed us to just do anything we wanted to do, and he was cool with it. Dope dude. Murphy Wolford, man, like at Tasty World, which is actually Magnolia's now. And we used to do upstairs there and made that, like, that was our foundation. That's where we launched from. Like, it was, you know, shout out to Giovanni Richardson. She used to help me back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of people that's gone, but it's a lot of people that's still here that, like, when we built that community, man, it was like we was there. Like, it was a community that never existed downtown in Athens. Whereas, like, talking to some of the elders, like, you know, Low Down and Dirty and even the Moon, they had it like satellite versions of it, like they would do it in like little like juke joints around.
Right.
But we was the first one to kind of like really break them barriers downtown.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then after that, you know, years go by, we're doing shows. So I just want to say, like, a lot of y'all that are doing shows downtown, like, I know it seems real easy, but it didn't used to be that easy for us.
And just
you
to
know
piggyback off of him, when they asked me.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll into your intro.
Kind of crazy.
Go
So
ahead.
I got here in 01, just working and shit, been in the crib, and I think I happened to go past Tasty World one night, and I saw Fort Knox outside, and fucking Colin and all of them.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I need to stop past there one night. And that was my introduction to the whole crew, because I go up in there, and I meet you, I meet fucking Amoon, and all of that. So that was my first introduction to hip hop in Athens. So Tasty World was my first
and
introduction.
then he was getting his feet wet, learning the DJ and doing it. He was self-taught, am I right?
Yeah, because I love the music.
Yeah, so he was self-taught. So we was like, it was almost like automatic to where we didn't really have a DJ like that, and it was like Chief, boom, and we just all linked, and it just kind of all came
Shout out
together.
to Black Boy, DJ Black Boy.
Yeah.
Too. Black Boy, he used to let us use his fucking
CDJs.
because he wasn't doing anything at the time. I think he was still in high school, right?
See, I was going to ask you about the DJ here. Go ahead and spin that off into what got you into DJ and what made you pick up the
shout out,
table.
like I said, shout out to DJ Black Boy, Denzel. Denzel. Yeah.
Southern Will when he was rapping.
Yeah, he used to rap as well. But yeah, shout out to him. But what got me into DJing, I always loved music, going back to Africa Bambaataa, and I could never afford any turntables, you know what I'm saying? I'm the type of guy to sit in the back, and I, you know, like to see the crowd rocking and shit. And anybody, you know, enjoying, I used to just watch the DJs, and I just get a high from watching the DJ do his thing and the crowd react. So when I got older and I couldn't afford it, actually when I got here, I was like, yo, let me go ahead and get some turntables and just fuck around with it and shit. And I got the CDJs and did that. I was like, yo, it's not that bad, man. But like he just said, it ain't easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first started DJing, I would play shit that I want to hear. You know, I'm from, I guess, technically South, but
I heard it referred to as bottom of the north, top of the south. That's what I heard Virginia refer to.
Yeah.
Shout out to my homeboy Travis Johnson. I heard him say that.
So I would fucking play like a lot of shit that I listen to. So I come down here and I'm like, damn, I can't do that shit. You know, it's all about the crowd and not about the DJ.
Especially around that era too, it was a whole different.
I think that was a whole
like Yang, Lil Jon era around that time. Yeah.
So I'm coming in playing some Hard Knock Live J, some
right.
OGC, some fucking Boot Camp Lick. Motherfuckers ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear some crunk shit. So I'm like, all right, let me go back and reevaluate this shit and, you know, look at myself. So this one I was like, okay, it's not about me, it's about the crowd. So once I started that, I was like, this shit is easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Then when you do that as well, you also enjoy the music yourself as a DJ because you was like, yo, it's good music, man.
Right.
The girls out here shaking their ass to it. The homies out here doing it. You got the girls shaking their ass. You can bring the dudes to the club, and you know, and that was, you know, that's what makes a fucking good club. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop. You know what I mean? So
you was a master of ceremonies with what you did.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
That's why I love y'all, man. I love like y'all have always been the heartbeat of our culture,
yeah, that's
man.
what I said. You can't have a fucking.
It's one of the original elements. It's one of the original elements.
Yeah.
Basically, the first element. You know, basically like.
Yeah, because you ain't got no sound.
Right. You got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, the MCs didn't come in until like, cause you, I mean, and I know y'all know, but I'll educate some of the people.
Talk.
It was the DJs with the big systems that would come out, and then people started getting on the mic because they just wanted to like introduce certain songs. They wanted to do this, and next thing you know, you had like these show. Like, then you started having like where they was like you had DJ crews and they had showmanship. So now it was like what MC was gonna be, and that was an MC.
They call it wordsmith also.
An artist originated from Jamaica.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because like the sound
Shout out
clashes
to
and
her.
all that. All that originated from Jamaica, so big up Jamaica.
Right.
You
So
know?
it's a beautiful thing where it's like we can see like the evolution of our culture, like from being the DJ to the MCs, and then we linked up with the B-boys and the graph artists, and like we started kind of rolling together. You know what I mean? And this is, I don't know, it's just like it makes me feel good because it really is like I always tell my kids, I always tell people, it's like hip hop to me is it might just be a music to some people, but it really is like a way of life of how I raise my kids and how I do my thing. So to see like the genesis and evolution of my culture is like, and to be like alive to do it, it means a lot to me.
Right, exactly.
And it's still young at that.
Yes.
It's 40 years old at that.
And you're documented like
Yeah.
And also I want to roll into I know you two guys form the Al Factory. Speak on the Al Factory, how you formed it and what the Al Factory is all about, man. Break that down to the public out there.
Actually, Al Factor, like I came into it when you and JV and Trav.
I didn't know that. Okay.
It was you, JV, Trav, and Hope
Mm-hmm.
were doing, and he was doing tangible elements, and he was doing all that, and then y'all brought me in, and then I started doing event planning.
So it was this guy here named, he's from Maryland, named John Vereen.
Yeah.
I remember him too.
Yeah, JV, and then he loved music, producing everything. So he always used to have people at his crib, and rapping over his beats. He had Sun One back in the day. I forgot what he went by. Maybe it was Sun One back then, but Sun One was in the crew with somebody else. So he had him, Trav Williams used to come to the crib. Then I knew him from the Navy base because I used to work. He was a Navy officer. So he said, yo, come through, so we used to all come through and vibe. Then Hope, how you pronounce it? I don't know, Miss
Hope. I don't know.
Yeah,
Everybody Hope. Y'all know Hope.
Yeah, Hope. I ain't want to butcher her last name.
Yeah.
So Hope would come through. So he was like, yo, let's just form this, this crew called Ass Factor. And he started it, and like Two just said, Two came. Trav actually brought me to come through there. Two came through. And
I think Trav brought me in too.
Yeah, Travis Williams.
Shout out Travis Williams.
Yeah, it was just like a little crew, collective, you know what I'm saying? And I think JV had a tangible
content.
Was it a beat tape or
it was it was a compilation.
He had
had
people on the
different
album.
people on it.
That's
It was his
right.
beats.
That's right.
And then
That's
that was like a
JV.
major project.
I think he lived in Birmingham, so that's how we formed Act Factor. JV left because he was stationed somewhere else in the Navy, so he had to go somewhere else, and he just left us with the baby and trusted us.
He handed it to us, to be honest with you, just to be straight up.
He never asked me
y'all
anything.
fooling me because I didn't know that
Yeah,
myself.
he never asked me anything, none of that, you know what I'm saying?
He gave us the banners,
Yeah.
he gave us shout out to JV, he's the one who came up with the whole Beat Wars concept.
I didn't know that either.
All of that, like, I don't want y'all to think this is like, but to me, this is hip hop. Like,
Right.
It was like, he literally handed us the baton and was like, y'all run with this. And even now, every now and then, me and JV will hook up and it'll be like on the line or whatever. And it's like, for you to hand somebody something that's still continuing and you helped start it.
And never ask for anything.
And never ask for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He
That's
could have
right.
easily came back and been like, yo, y'all know I started this name.
Right.
It's always been like so much love in that
shout out to
relationship,
JV.
man.
That's
Yes.
cool. That's cool.
Yes.
That's cool. See, I didn't know that myself, man. JV, man, you see the video, man. Next time you in town, holler at me, man. I need you to talk your talk, bro.
Yeah, he was a big Mad Lib fan. Big Mad
Yeah.
Lib. JD.
See, I got on him late. Like,
Yeah. I got on him through JV actually. Like,
Okay,
he used to
okay.
just play beats, and I'm like,
He was like Mad Lil back then.
yeah,
I didn't know who he was.
He just like throw it in and just listen to it. You listen to that shit. At first, like, yo, this shit sound repetitive. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ramming over it. But then I just was in the house one day listening to it. I was like, damn, this shit's smooth as fuck. You know?
Right.
And from there, the rest is history. Like, I mean, I know some people know the story. Like, we was in and out of the
Just not to cut you off, but just to build you up. Just like I was gonna branch
go ahead.
off and be like, over the years you became like the ambassador for Athens hip hop, and just from where you was going already, just fill us up to that point, and and how you like people like me who are the Athenians, we gave him that brand. He's the hip hop ambassador of our city. Just speak on how you built it up and how you got to where you at, my brother.
So I always felt like my goal was, because I wasn't from Athens, like my goal was never to come in and try to like bogart stuff and be like, yo, I started hip hop, whatever. Like I went and like talked with Low Down and Dirty and Major Biggs and like all these people that like was doing things in Athens. You came to my shows. I would always, to me, I was always like, because I wasn't from here, like I felt like I had to like earn my way here, and I felt like I did. So it was like eventually, from me just doing shows at Caledonia, we had a monthly going for a year there. We sold out to Caledonia a bunch of times. we were doing Tasty World. We were on campus because I was on campus. We would do shows like to this day like that was infamous. Like we brought Witch Doctor to one of our big MC battles there, you know, and he brought a couple of the Dungeon Family cats. But we were doing it, and my thing when I was doing it, I never wanted to be like, you know, like try to act like I'm bigger than Athens. I wanted to be Athens. Like it just always it just felt like home to me. So y'all gave me. I always joke with Lo, and I was like, y'all gave me my ghetto pass, man. Y'all literally handed it to me because y'all felt like I earned it. Right. So at that point, it was just like, no. Then I started hearing people shout me out. I started hearing like, you know, people talking to me and like, what do I do next? And and giving like I opened the gateways to downtown, but it wasn't like I didn't want to be a gatekeeper. I wanted to be one of the ones that like I bust the door open so let's all come through together. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what you did.
So that's just kind of the position I've always played, and I'm going to continue to play. Like, you know, I catch a little grief from here and there and whatever, but overall, like, I want people to know, like, the things that I do is because I love this city and I love the people of this city, and they have literally, like, because I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is 1,300 miles away. Like, when I came to this city, like, y'all embraced me, man. Like Athens embraced me and was like, they understood what I was doing. At the same time, just to not be too long, but at the same time, I was on a university campus, so we was doing protests at the president's office. Yep. Like we had the 1.9 movement, we had the NITT movement.
Just a different type of feel you brought to the city.
we wasn't just doing hip hop, but like a lot of the things that's going like, and not to say that I'm a part of everything that's going on, but even some of the progressive movements that's going on today, like. We did that like 10 years ago, you know what I mean? Same thing with the hip hop. So it's like, I always wanted to be not in the forefront, but I wanted to be a part of the city, which made it like, yeah, I want more black people on this campus. Yeah, I want more black people downtown. Yeah, I want us to have more businesses in Athens. So it was like, that's why I always tell people like, and I'll be online talking about like, man, y'all don't understand, this thing is bigger than the music. It's bigger than, like Dead Prez say, it's bigger than hip hop. Like it's a movement where we're doing more than just the music. It's like we're really moving as a culture, and that's the same thing that I learned from African Bambaataa. The same thing I learned from KRS-One is like to move like as a movement, as a culture. You know what I mean?
Right. And I definitely understand it because like with you saying that, it's a lot of people that I know like just to throw a name out there like Tommy Valentine. You got so many people who started from the hip hop community, but they used what they learned from the hip hop community and elevated themselves up to do other things in the city. Like, and I always tell people once you get your voice or your platform to a certain level, it's so much more you can do with it that's outside of the music. You know, like because I'm a perfect example. I feel like hip hop built me to give me the character that I got and the confidence that I got to go on to do bigger things. But at the end of the day, it's always go back to the hip hop. You know, and it's funny you said it because that's what it's all about, man. Definitely.
It is, and I just wanted to, and me that's why I love talking to you. Every time I see you, like you've been such a big supporter, and like I've seen your voice grow from just like you being on stage with the gold chains with your shirt off to like, you know what I mean? Like, but no, I'm saying like I literally seen you like grow from like you finding your voice, and now for you to be doing this, and then for me to hear like some of the music you working on, like I've seen you grow, man, and like that's all I've ever wanted, because they say like the best leaders create more leaders. Right. That's all I've ever wanted to do. You know what I mean? And I want to reach a point where I can step back. I don't need no credit for anything. I just want Athens to be a better city. I want you to be a better man. Exactly. I want like all of these youngsters that I mentor to just be better human beings, and for us to step up and like take accountability in ourselves.
Exactly. And also with both of you all speaking on how long you've been on the scene and all, I would like to know how do you feel about the progression of the Athens hip hop scene and some of the differences that you've seen and the improvements that have been made since both of you guys first stepped on the scene, been following the scene.
He'll probably be a little-winded.
Talk.
With me, I actually like it, man. I like the scene and diversity. Of course, anything can be better, but we had a little moment when it was stagnating. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was really coming out. Nobody was performing, or they was performing and doing the same stuff, repetition shit. So repetitive. So it was real repetitive at one point, but now like it's like booming now. Everybody's doing shows, everybody's, you know what I'm saying, touring, even getting out of Athens.
Yes. Right.
Yes,
You
I
know,
am. Yes, I am.
and that's what I like, you know, you can't just be in Athens, you know.
Right,
And
right.
If you aspire to be an artist, you need to get out of Athens, you know. Build your base there, of course, but you want to move out. So I like it right now, honestly, you know. I fuck with everybody, man.
Mhm.
You know, humble. I'm the little quiet cat, you know. I sit in the
Right,
back
right.
and two do all the talking, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm real quiet, you know, just chill, but yeah.
No, and I completely agree with Chief saying. Like I've seen, just like I've seen you grow, I've seen this scene grow.
Mhm.
You know, like we've always been able to like put like really good talented people on stage. But I think one of the pitfalls we had back in the day is we was too focused on Athens.
Mhm.
We didn't go out and go to do other things. You know, other than Ish, Elemental P, and you know, Amun Ra and Low Down and Dirty did, but other than that, like with our core, just never decided where we wanted to be, like where we're going. And I feel like this new breed in Athens are doing that. Like they're doing out of town shows, they're doing shows with indie rockers, they're doing shows and venues and in house parties that just
Right. Nationwide online following.
yeah. So like it's we're moving together, and it's not just a movement in Athens. We're moving outside of Athens. So I really love what's going on, and like there's a lot of great music coming out. Athens, there's a lot of great producers. I like the fact that because for a long time, Act Factor was the only one doing events in Athens.
Right.
You know, I love the fact that you have like all these other entities that are doing shows, that are doing festivals, that are like doing these other things, because now we have like all these moving parts and people understand, you know, what's going on. You
It
know,
goes back, like, I know we was talking about this, I think, doing our show last Tuesday. It used to be an indie rock town. Now, looking at Athens, it's like more hip hop. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, Athens is like, it's like world
Yeah.
famous for like, yeah, you're right. Like you said, indie rock. But yeah, over the years, like hip hop is taking strides there too. You're right. Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
and when we can bring in, like a last Tuesday, we brought in, you know, Paid in America and Invisibly in Fight and some of these other cats from Atlanta, and for us to bring them to Athens, not only have rock a banging show, but to be able to pay them, like they are understanding what's going on. We got Dope Knife that's moving to Athens. Like people are starting to like, I get hit up once, twice a week from people outside of Athens, like, how can I come perform in Athens?
Right.
People want
See, that's
to
great. That's
perform
great.
in Athens, like,
That's
and
great.
they understand like the movement we have going on here. You know.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. And also, I want to get back to you in the turntable, Chief Rock. I want to ask you a question that I always want to ask a DJ, and I'm gonna ask you. Say you in a situation that somebody asked you to play one song that describes hip hop, and you had to throw it on your table. What would that one song be?
Ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah, it's
question.
crazy. I guess it goes back to what I talked about. My personal favorite, like what I like to hear. It either be the roots, hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. The roots joint would go hip hop, you know, love of my life. Also, whenever I drop this bass line come on, everybody rocks, the whole crowd. Fucking One More Chance by Biggie. Biggie, One More Chance.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they my two. One More Chance, you know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question, both of y'all can answer this. Just being a DJ and, you know, being around a lot of MCs.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best MC/DJ duo of all time? Meaning not two rappers, but an MC and a DJ duo.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Of course you got to go with Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Jeff and Fresh Prince to me.
I gotta go Gang Star if I had to pick.
I was gonna go, yeah.
I had to go Gang Star.
Yeah, but you know, if it wasn't for Jeff and Fresh Prince, there would be no Gang Star.
Correct.
You know,
Okay.
there would be no Primo and Guru. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Jeff's still doing his thing. He's my
Right.
top DJ.
I was going to ask you that later, but okay, DJ Jeff. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Jazzy Jeff, man, he knows how to rock a crowd.
Okay.
Jeff, my top right now. Jeff, Kid Capri. My third one, who would I have for my third DJ right now? A third DJ that can rock a crowd, any genre. It's a lot of DJs, man. But just those two. I'm going with Jeff, Kid Capri.
Okay.
Yeah, mainstream DJs can rock a crowd.
Yeah.
You got to.
I can't even
Yeah.
like I can't dispute that. But the one thing that I've always like been really humbled and like really tugs in my heart is like when they was doing Slick Rick and the Dougie Fresh.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like,
what's the
DJ
DJ?
show.
I'm talking about, I can't think right now. I'm sitting here trying to think of it. You know, the pioneer, the dude that made the.
Oh, you talking about Grandmaster Flash?
Yeah.
Flash.
So Flash,
Yeah.
Flash is always,
Right.
Flash has always held a really
Especially did not,
special part in my,
That's a given. Yeah. Flash.
but he's all, exactly. But he's just kind of always there, and then, you know, we can go on and on and on, and like, you know, that's why I'm like, me and Chief always talk about like eventually, like, cause he got a job, his kids are getting older, and my kids are younger, but eventually, like, that's exactly what me and Chief want to do.
Right.
Like, where Chief is, you know, I'm just toasting, and Chief is
Right.
That's eventually what we want to do. I'm not an MC,
Right.
but that's eventually what we want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's for me, like, I'm gonna tell you, like, I feel like one of the biggest things to the DJ culture was the movie Juice. Like, for me, in my opinion, that was the first time, like, for a brief, because I started out wanting to be an MC around, like, 91-ish. Like, I was already rapping before that, but when I saw, like, Criss Cross being, like, around the same age I was, that's when I was like, okay, it's not an age limit on it.
Yeah,
but, like, the next year when I saw Juice, like, I instantly wanted to be a DJ. Like, for that Christmas, I almost got, well, you know, not really saying almost, you know, growing up, but anything pretty reasonable if I wanted, I could get it for Christmas. So I was like, I'm gonna get a turntable. But something happened, I changed my mind. But Juice, I feel like Juice was a big thing for the DJing culture also. That movie there.
It was major. Great movie, man. Great movie.
It was major.
Yeah. And, you know, it starts off with him in there.
Right. And that's what hooked me. When I turned the equipment on, like, right.
I'm doing this shit.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, and also before we get into, like, you know, just a little personal comment, I want to ask one more thing, man. Just speak on some of the work you do in the community and some of the annual events that you guys put your hands on around the city of Athens, Georgia.
Well, right now I'm working with Chess and Community Conference, which is with Brother Life de Grio.
Shout out, got to get you on here, bro.
Yes, and I'm what's considered the community liaison, so I'm like helping event plan, but like, it's like, to me, it's like the next generation of dreaded minds, you know, and we're training these young minds. And I also work at the East Athens Community Center, which I'm right there, hands on, and I have a after school program with at Clark Central High School, the Black Culture Club. This will be our 3rd year, and actually his daughter is the president this year. Okay. And we were just emailing the other day trying to figure out which way and direction we're gonna go. And then I have this mentoring group that I have at Clark Central too. It's just all young black boys. It's called Think First, which is basically based off of Life's Chess and Community, because the whole motto of that is think before you move. So the one thing that we always try to teach the community, and especially like our youngins, is like think before you move. Whatever you do, like just think before you move. So and on top of just trying to be involved in the community as far as know what's going on. So when I'm talking to the youth, I can know what's going on. I personally kind of took a step back years ago on just like the really hard political stuff, even though I helped Tommy with his campaign, helped Mariah with her campaign. Like, I get y'all on the shout out to Mariah, you told me about it. But I had to step back from the politics because I got really disgruntled real easy, and like I don't always say the right things, but to me it is the right things, but like in the right environment. So I took a step back, and like I at least now just want to be aware, because then with our programs that we are putting on with the youth, it's just really just like training the youth to be the next leaders of this country. That's beautiful, man. Salute for that, like, and it's like you said, salute. Yeah. Salute. Yeah. Well, while I got both of y'all here, man, let's talk a little hip hop, man. You know, we talked about the local scene, man. Let's talk about the culture, man. Like, what new artists out there exciting y'all right now, man?
Me?
Yeah.
A lot, man. My shit is diverse, man. Right. So right now, I've been really on Griselda, fam. Benny Conway, West Side Gun. Okay. Been on them heavy. They have the street vibe that I feel. You know what I'm saying? So I've been on that. Ironically, I like Lizzo as well. I like Lizzo because she reminds me of the Missy Elliott. Based out of Minneapolis. Yeah. I got to get into her. Yeah. Just listen to her. Like, I don't know, you probably a little young, but when Missy popped on the scene, Missy from the same city I'm from, fam, But when Missy jumped on the scene, the Lizzo female, she has the same vibe to me. Just being herself, not afraid to be herself, and just having fun. The music, I like Meg. I like Meg Thee Stallion, I like Meg, sex appeals. Shout out, right. I like Meg, and I like the music too, what I'm saying? She, she write YBN Corday. I fuck
Oh
with
man,
him as
yeah,
well.
yeah, he got a dope project.
Yeah, he reminds
Lost
me of
Boys?
a young.
You heard his article? You heard his article?
Yeah, he reminds me of a young J. Cole when J. Cole jumped on the scene.
Yeah,
back in the day.
yeah.
So I fuck with him. Roddy Ricch from out west.
Okay.
I fuck with him as well. The young cats I like. I put these together because they're from Atlanta. Gunna and Baby.
Yo, I
fuck with
dig
them too.
Baby.
Yeah, they keep money into the streets. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with them. And, the Baby from North Carolina.
Yeah, the Baby, okay.
I like the Baby because he's an assassin on the mic and he's an assassin in the streets as well.
Right.
So that's who all I'm fucking with.
All right, cool. All right, talk your
To
talk.
piggyback, like Benny the Butcher is like I've been
He's one of my
ODing
guys,
on
right?
him. You know what I'm saying?
I like 30 Days Special too.
Oh,
I like 30
so you
Days
start?
Special.
Oh, you like Splash?
Man, I've been on the hard like on these platforms.
A lot of people didn't like his voice, but I fuck with
I
him.
did at first either,
Yeah.
but like the first one that Benny the Butcher when he was like when he was like I got a lamb and a
Yeah,
stick
the
like
stick.
fresh out the Bible. I was like, what?
You go back and listen to all the old
I
joints.
did. I have. Yeah. I like him. Yeah.
I fuck with Billy Badass. You know what I'm saying? Like not Billy Badass.
Joey.
Excuse me, Joey
Okay,
Badass.
yeah,
Listen
I
to
got
me,
you.
Joey Badass. Like I like OD'd on him for a while. Flatbush Zombies. I'm really digging the Underachievers. YB and Cordier. Like it's so much, man. To be honest,
I forgot like two. I'm gonna cut you off. I forgot Maxo Cream.
Oh,
You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
ODing on him the other
Maxo out of
day.
Houston. I
Yeah,
like
I just
Maxo.
got on here the other day too, and I was like, man, I've been
Yeah.
see me. I have to be in the mood to listen to new artists. If I'm not in the mood, I would hear it, but I won't really hear it.
Yeah,
You
see,
know
I
what
have
I'm
to make
saying?
myself as being a DJ. I gotta keep my ear to the street. So I threw Max on, Nigerian cat out of Houston. He's dope.
Oh, I didn't know you was Nigerian. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Rap. I forgot Rhapsody.
Oh,
I
that's
wouldn't
my
say
baby.
she knew.
Rhapsody?
Yeah, Rhapsody. So I like his subject matter. She remind me of, and I hate to pigeonhole her like that, but Lauryn Hill. She rhyming harder than some of the dudes that's out there. You know what I'm saying?
And I always look at Chief, man.
Yeah.
I'd be like, not lost, but I'll be sitting at work and I'll be like, I want to hear something new.
Yeah.
I text Chief, I'll be like, what you listening to now? Like, he put me on everything. Like, I'll be like, boom, boom, because I'll get so lost just like being like local or just like on my old stuff. But
Right.
like Chief will put me on something, be like, yo, I'll be at work like ODing on stuff. Like, I'll be listening to albums like 30 times in a row.
Right.
That's the one thing I want to say too. Like, it's funny because I be hearing all these people like, hip hop dead or there ain't no good hip hop. It's like, that mean you ain't listening, son.
You ain't looking.
You
It's a
ain't
lot of
listening,
music
son,
out there.
because like
It never really left.
it's a lot.
It just left the mainstream. It never really left. It never went nowhere.
It left the mainstream, but now a lot of these artists that we just talking about, and in the mainstream, and they making good music.
Right,
They
right.
cooking up this shit, and
Like,
not
look
all
'em
sounding
up,
the
man.
same.
Look 'em up.
Not all sounding the same, man.
Yeah.
So,
Look 'em up. It's a lot of great music coming out these days, man. And it's like I don't care what vibe you on, whether you want to hear the coke rap or you want to hear the nerdcore,
It's there.
or you want to hear lyrics. Like, man, if you looking for it, it's here.
It's here.
It's here.
Yeah. Okay, top 5 lyricists. Give me the top 5 top of your head. No particular order.
no particular order for me.
Top
I'm glad you
5
said that because then I can do it.
Rakim.
Alright.
I got Nas.
Okay.
I got Jay. I got Biggie and KRS-One.
Okay.
And I'm old here, so it may sound cliche, but
Nah,
that's who I got.
that's
Okay.
And can I give you a six?
Go ahead. Yeah,
Six
talk your
man.
talk.
My
Six
six
man.
man from the West Coast is Q. I'm a big Q.
Okay, so me is Lupe Fiasco, Nas, Raekwon, Slick Rick, and then I gotta throw a little Southern juice in there for Andre 3000.
Okay.
3 stacks.
Okay, I can't knock either of those. Okay, good selection.
Yeah.
In y'all opinion, what makes an album a classic?
Makes it timeless. To me, anything that's classic. That's why, like, I think the word GOAT and classic is way overused these days. Like, they just way overuse it. Like, cause you putting out if you got one album, you can't be the GOAT. You might be dope, but put out, like, let's give you a little bit of time before you say you the greatest of all time. Are you even in that category? But anyways, to me, a classic is something that's timeless. Like, I can put on, like, whether it be right now and it's dope, or like 10 years from now and it's still gonna give me that same funky, just like goosebumps, just
Right. Okay.
So timeless.
For me, it's timeless, but it's more detailed as I'm listening to this DJ. For me, an album that makes a classic is sequencing.
Okay.
Number 1 for me is sequencing. I would say number 2 is your flow.
Okay.
Your beats, well, it's not 1 and 2, like 2 and 3. Your
Right, right.
beats, the replay value, if I can replay it back,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's it. Yeah. But it starts off with sequencing.
Okay.
Because if
Got
your
it.
album,
Right.
By the way, he's
Yeah.
a master at that.
Yeah.
Everything, like all the projects that I've been involved in, or I always tell people, like, if you are having any problem or if you just want to master the sequence, send it to Chief. Like, he is so dope at sequencing, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I
he
love
really
the
is.
sequencing of an album, and like I said, the flow, the replay value, so that all goes into it. And to me, one of the top projects is Illmatic, because the sequencing is there, it's short. The replay value is there because it's so short, and the beats, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, that's a whole. I ain't gonna get. That's a whole nother.
that's me. That's just
I
me.
love Illmatic, but
That's just me. One of my top.
It's just, like I got like 5 New York albums out. Like that's just me that I would put it. Like I even think it was written better than Illmatic. That's just my opinion, though.
I can
But that's just my opinion.
No,
though.
yeah,
I can dig that. I can
Because
dig
like, but see, my thing, like, when I speak to other like guys who from up north and stuff, and I tell them like, like coming from like when that album came out, I was 12 years old.
Yeah, so
like,
it's different.
But like that compared to like say like a Reasonable Doubt, like when I listen to Reasonable Doubt, it's stuff that I still catch that I had to get older to really understand. Like, oh shit, that's what he was talking about, or that's what he was talking about. It's
So
like,
you know what he's doing, right?
Right.
He really doing that Jay versus Nas.
Nah.
That's what he really doing.
That's a whole nother episode.
We'll get into that episode.
That's what he really doing. You see through Reasonable Doubt.
I love Illmatic.
We know you're a Jay fan.
I love Illmatic.
And if I had a 6-man, no, I can't say that because it would have been Biggie.
See, Jay's
I was
not
gonna
even
say
one of my
Jay would be
top
my
5
six.
lyrics.
Jay's my 7.
Jay not even one of my top
Jay-
5 lyrics.
I like how he puts.
That's a whole nother.
I like how he puts stuff together though.
That's Jay. Yeah, he's deadly.
Yeah.
Old Reasonable Doubt Jay. Like
Right.
deadly.
Just
Like
how,
the wordplay on the album.
how he puts it all
Yeah.
together, it just is like masterful.
Right.
It's like what he does is like a symphony. Like
Right.
he really like knows how to like.
Right, but as I got older, I had to realize too, like he was like 26, 27 when he made that. So he had lived so much, he had so much to put into it, where so Nas was like 17, 18,
Right.
and just to be speaking of what he was speaking of, that was a big thing too, though.
But to go back to Reasonable Doubt and the wordplay and shit,
Mhm.
back in the day, you like the shit you catch.
Mm-hmm.
So can I live?
Mhm.
One of my favorite lines I used to big up like, oh shit,
Mhm.
when he said I keep one eye open like CC.
Right.
I used to love that line.
Right.
The symbols,
The
CC.
symbol,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right.
So that was one of my favorite
Live
lines.
at the main event, I
Yeah,
better tread the
yeah,
Maui
yeah,
on it. He
yeah.
could have easily said, I bet 5 stacks. And he said, nah, I just better tread the Maui on it. You know what I'm saying? Just to spice it up a little bit, man. Yeah, man. Well, y'all go check my Reasonable Doubt, man, on album review. It's on my Talking TV page too, man. But with all 3 of us who being Wu-Tang members, I want to ask y'all who y'all favorite Wu member and why. Raekwon my favorite member, but I think Ghostface is the greatest Wu-Tang member, career-wise. At this point right now, I think Ghostface had the best run. But Raekwon is my guy. Raekwon is my favorite guy. Raekwon is my favorite
We've
guy.
been having this conversation for 10
We
years.
had this
This
conversation.
conversation for 10 years.
I'm
So
a Wu head, so.
Ray,
Okay.
Ray hands down, like his storytelling abilities, and I will ride with you when you say like career wise, it's it's Tony Stark's. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the chef to me, as far as just my favorite, the best.
I'm with you on that.
Like that purple tape to me was like Godfather Part 2. Like
But who
it
was on
like,
it?
I don't give a damn. Who was on it? We had it. I'm telling you.
Who was on it?
So you about to say
Nah, he was on it.
Ghostface.
He was
Okay.
on it, but like Ray, I love Ray's storytelling. I love like his flow. I love his voice. Like Ray is like phenomenal to me.
Right.
He really
Yeah.
is.
So to me, I got my top 3.
All right. Talk your talk.
I'm going with Ghost, Ray, and Jizzle.
Okay,
That's my top 3 too. Just a different order.
Different order, but same. The reason why I say Ghostface career-wise, because I just feel like he got one of the best catalogs in hip hop. Also,
His discography is
right.
After like that album we had Run On, I can't Iron Man. After was it Iron Man?
They had Run. That might have been with Jadakiss. Run.
No, I didn't. I just listened to it today. I lost train of thought. But had Apollo Kids. And,
Yeah, that was Supreme Clientele.
That was Supreme Clientele. Ooh, that album was.
So after Supreme Clientele, man, he went on a little run after that, man.
Freddie Tony. Freddie Tony.
And you know what I love about
the singing joint he had. Remember the singing?
That's what I'm about to say. I was just about to say. That's what I love about Starks, man. Like he you ain't about to pigeonhole me.
Yeah.
Like he be in different lanes. And
he about to drop a new album.
And he about to drop a new album.
Yeah. Well, what I like about him is this, like I don't know if everybody look at it this way, but he took the same character from that was from Cuban Links, and he like built like a whole legacy.
That's
like
exactly
this the same character from Cuban Links. That's the same Tony Stark, and he's building this character. That's why you notice like people like him and Nas, even Biggie did the same thing. They never killed themselves in none of their stories because it was the same guy in all the stories. Like if you go back and listen to Life After Death or Ready to Die, Biggie telling the same story from the same guy. The same dude in Warren is the same guy in N-Word Bleed. And it's the same story. That's why he never died. The Frank White never died because he kept bringing him into these stories.
And to piggyback off that, that's one thing that I hate is when people be trying to like, when people be trying to say, you know, they try to hold hip hop at this like high standard as if like, you know what I mean, be like, oh, well they didn't write they didn't go through what they did or whatever. But it's like, you think Al Pacino was like a gangster? Like, it's like you have to understand it. Like this is like the music that we create is like when we tell these stories that are like is a part of like the movies we watch, it's a part of what we saw, it's a part of what we grew up, and we bring it all together and it becomes like this masterpiece, like the Purple Tape, like Nas, like Jay, like what Outkast does, like what Goody Mob did, like what Scarface does. Like if you put these masterpieces down, like man, I put like they classics to me. Like people listen to like classical music. You know what I'm saying? Like
anything else y'all want to say before we get out of here, fellas?
Catch us every first Tuesday at the World's Famous.
Yes.
Talk it.
I'm gonna shout my social out.
Go ahead, talk, of course.
I be forgetting that old head like me.
We're gonna put everything on screen for you, but go ahead though.
DJ_ChiefRocka on all platforms, IG link to Facebook, and Twitter. DJ_CHIEFROCKA.
And like you said, we doing the first Tuesday of every month at World Famous, and now we got a residency at Academia Brewing Company. That ain't on no specific date, but just check for us. Just come check us out at CHIEFROCKA and MONTU on Facebook. That's my favorite.
IG, Ad Factor.
You know and I want to say to you, Billy, I've always appreciated what you've done. You've always like taken these steps to like really like, and the same thing, like you fall in line with what we've been doing. Like your goal and your heart is to like preserve our culture. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I appreciate it, bro.
What you got on, like I mean, it's like like that part matters to me. Like and me personally. Like whenever I see talking TeeVee stuff or like I see you online like battling these dudes that like are ill-informed because they ain't don't study the culture like you. They don't know what they're getting involved in when they're having a conversation with you. Because like you talking from like 5 years ago, like I'm like deep in this culture. But anyways, I just want to say that like salute to you, man. Like everything that you're doing and like you keep doing it, and if you need anything from us, man, we here. We've done it. You know what I mean?
Already, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Once again, appreciate you having us, on Talking TeeVee.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Talking TeeVee!
Yeah, man. Once again, man, man, we got William MONTU Miller, man.